Guys, so today we're on our way to a driveway job. It's for a customer of mine. He actually owns an automotive business, so we're gonna head up there. I guess he's got some massive potholes and some really low spots in his parking lot. He had 20 ton of stone delivered last night, so basically just wants me to fill in the low spots with the stone, and that's pretty much about it. I guess the parking lot's been bad for a long time and he just wants it filled right now. I guess eventually he's gonna pave it or do something else with it, but for the meantime, at least he can get the low spots taken care of. That way the water's not sitting in his parking lot like it is. So I'll show you guys a little bit more when we get up there. We're on our way right now. We got the Kubota BX behind me, so I'll talk to you guys when we get there. Alright guys, so we just arrived at the driveway job. I'll give you guys a quick little look at what we're doing here today. So as you can see here, this is a pretty big parking lot. It's actually really big. It's for a automotive repair shop. So we had 20 ton of stone delivered. The stone was mainly delivered there. The truck driver was trying to split it half and half. He was trying to put 10 ton over here and 10 ton over here, but when he went to dump that, most of it came out. So we got the majority over on that corner, as you guys seen in the intro, and then we only got like maybe three or 4 ton over here. But that's okay, because most of the stone is actually going to be getting spread in that corner because it's really low, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. And as you guys see from the intro, this parking lot is just pretty much riddled with potholes. There's potholes everywhere and they're tired of driving through them. A lot of them are just smaller and deeper ones, but then we got some really large ones like this one here that I'm going to have to dig out with a bucket and kind of scrape up a little bit and dump them into the potholes just to raise them up a little bit before we spread our top coat. A lot of these potholes occurred from the winter plowing season. The plow truck comes in here and that's kind of what messes all this up. Like all this is high right here, and there is some banks on the outer edges that I want to take some stone off because I know it's high on the edges. So if I can use some of that stone and scrape some of that to use in the potholes, I will do that as well at the end. But coming down this way, you can see there's some smaller potholes. Here's a really bad section that they complain about a lot. It's pretty much all the way across. It's unavoidable when they come through here. Now this I'll have to dig out as well, but I can only go so far because the problem with this driveway, which is kind of what I was telling you guys in the beginning, how it really needs to be fully redone, is because there is a lot of blacktop mixed within the stone, as this was a blacktop driveway at one point. So if you look over here, you can see all the blacktop within the stone. So in some areas there's almost no blacktop, and in other areas there's a lot of blacktop. So the reason I couldn't just go out and dig all these holes up is because I would be digging up all that blacktop. We'd be getting lots of big chunks coming to the surface, and it would be a really big job, really expensive, and we need a lot more equipment than just my BX. So that is why he wants me to pretty much just cover them up. But I told him, instead of just covering them, let me see if I can dig these out a little bit, dig up these high spots, fill them back in a little bit with what's here, and then I'll spread top coat on it just so it lasts a little bit longer and they don't just get washed out again right away. Coming over here, as you can see, we've got a lot more potholes. Now this is mixed with a lot more of the pavement, so these I won't be able to really dig out too much. I can knock off some of the high spots and dump them back, but these are pretty much just going to get spread and filled. And then the last spot is over here on the very end. This corner right here is really low, and a lot of water sits in here. If it rains really hard, they can get like an inch of water, and it's just completely flooded over here. So that's where the majority of this stone is going to go, is in this corner right here. Basically just going to be spreading it all out in this corner, trying to build this corner up so that the water doesn't sit there. And then over here on the end, you can see there's some more potholes and whatnot that need to be filled as well. So definitely a lot of work to be done here. So we're going to get right at it. Figured I'd give you guys a quick little close-up look at what we got going on here so you guys can kind of see what we're doing beforehand. So I'm gonna grab the tractor out, and the first thing I'm gonna do is just kind of knock some of these high spots down and kind of level out a little bit, get these high spots taken care of. Then we can go ahead and grab the stone, start spreading it. And then after that, we'll see if we got time to work around the edges a little bit, maybe taper this towards the drain, and see if we can get some of these high spots on the edges knocked down as well. So let's get on the tractor and get to work. All right, guys, well, we just finished up with the driveway job. I'll give you a quick look over here. This is where the pile of stone was. This is where there was about, I don't know, 18 ton here, and they dumped about 3 ton over there. But as you can see, I spread it in this big low spot. This entire area here was really low. It was always soupy, and there was always like an inch of water. I mean, it was that low. So I made sure I concentrated here with most of that pile, trying to build it up. And since we had so much left over, we ended up just doing the rest of this side, and it looks really nice now. I'm glad we did. Basically just came off of here from where the blacktop is still all one piece and it's not all broken. I basically came off of that and spread it out. He also did tell me that it was really low in through here where he always parks. This is where the store owner parks, and he says he always had to jump out in water. So I built all this up as well, built it back from the blacktop, and we took it all the way to the road over here. But yeah, you can see how nice the transition is now from the driveway to the road. So it's nice and smooth. There were some potholes and stuff when you'd pull in right off the road here, so that's all nice now. So coming over here is where the smaller potholes were. Well, not really smaller, but kind of scattered potholes. So there was a couple over here that we filled. There was a big one over here. You can see we've got that filled. Another one right here. And then down through here, it was just scattered. They were just all over the place. So we've got all these filled. I did dig them out the best I could, being that there was blacktop around them. I went as far as I could until I started hitting some blacktop. Scraped it up, dumped it back in, and we top coated it. So all that is done. These were a couple big holes here. One there, one there. Got all that filled. And then this was definitely the worst pothole of the parking lot. It stretched from one side to the other. I basically dug all this out as much as I could, dumped it back in the pothole, and spread over top of it with the fresh stone. I did build this up as much as I could with what stone we had. That way this is a little bit higher, just slightly higher than the rest of the driveway, since this is always a problem area. And I tracked over it real good with the tractor to pack this in nice and tight, so hopefully this won't be a problem for a while with them. And then over here is the last spot, which is actually the first spot where we started. This spot had a bunch of potholes coming off into the entrance here, especially over in this area. And then there was a couple big massive potholes over here, which you guys see me dig out in the beginning. So we got all that filled. So that's all set. And then the one thing that I'm really happy we did was we ended up grading all this out over here. I ended up stripping the sod because the sod actually came out past this vehicle right here. So the sod was out really, really far here, and it actually was blocking this other entrance because they got 2 entrances here. So they were never actually able to use this entrance, and the sod actually came up past this entrance way here. So we've stripped it back from here all the way back here. It was a lot of stripping, and what we found was there was a ton of stone underneath the strip sod. This is where they bank all their snow in the wintertime. So what I basically did was stripped it off, just stripped the sod off of the stone and piled it all up here, made a nice little bank, and then underneath the sod was a nice fat amount of stone. So I just ended up breaking that up and spreading it out, and that actually was enough stone to easily cover this whole area over here. We ended up moving the U-Haul trailers back over there, and they got a ton more room now. He's really happy with it. Now they got 2 entrances now versus 1, and they've got a lot more room to store all their U-Haul trailers. So all in all, it turned out really good. The customer is really, really happy about it. So we're gonna be back here hopefully pretty soon. Towards the end of the summer, he's got a lot of these vehicles he wants to scrap and get rid of. And once he does, we're gonna move the rest of them out of the way. Underneath all this sod here is also stone, because this used to be an entire driveway at one point. So towards the end of the summer, I'm hoping to come back. We're gonna move all these vehicles and strip all this sod as well, and then kind of uncover what stone is there and maybe get a little bit more as well. And we basically want to square this whole thing off and make this entire thing a parking lot again. And then over here where I was talking to you guys in the beginning, how we wanted to slope it down towards the drain. We didn't have enough time today to do that, but we also want to do that when I come back as well. Strip this sod that's in here and taper it down towards the drain. So once he does that, he's going to be really happy, because then the entire driveway is going to be back like it was probably 20 years ago. So it's been a long time since this driveway was redone, and it looks a lot better now. I know his customers would be a lot happy not having to bomb through potholes every time they bring their car here. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna get wrapped up here, go home. I've got the tractor loaded up already, so I'm gonna get cleaned up and relax the rest of my weekend. Hopefully you guys will see this video shortly, so stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe as always. We'll see you guys in the next one.